Welcome back, Shalligators. Well, my last video on the Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion feud did so well, I decided to follow it up because one of you guys mentioned in a comment a topic that I think is so good: how to stop defending a trash ass man, because I think the crux of Nicki Minaj's complete failure to body Megan in this feud comes down to her very poor decisions with dudes, right? Like, she is married to a murderer, child rapist, attempted child rapist. Well, that's what he got convicted for. Who knows how many children he actually did manage to rape at knife point? This is just the one he botched, right? Like, be a smoother criminal. Do you need to go to like child rapist school? Get like a child rapist associate's degree? I don't know. I hope that you don't. I hope we keep catching you. Nicki lost the hearts and minds of a lot of people when she married Kenneth Petty and became literally Mrs. Petty, which, while I would love to be Mrs. Petty, I wouldn't want to be that Mrs. Petty. I am already Miss Petty. I don't need to like get married and have like a, a petty elopement, a petty, certificate of marriage. I can just be petty. Anyway. And it really prompted so many of her fans who love her and loved her confidence to reevaluate everything they knew about Nicki Minaj. So in the last video, if you haven't watched it, I talk about how to defeat a rival, how Nicki completely fucking botched this whole feud, how you can check your social media to see what is betraying you and what is giving your enemy a foothold over you, and how to craft a decoy persona so that your enemies can't get at the real you and dismantle you from the inside out, the way Megan is doing to Nicki, and the way, quite frankly, everyone's doing to Nicki right now, because holy shit, has she showed her ass and her weaknesses. And also, if you're a Nicki Barb, it's weird you guys call yourself that, and you're here to hate comment, please understand that every comment on these videos makes me $1, pushes me up further in the algorithm, so thank you for making me money. Hate hits my bank account the exact same way love does. Same on my Instagram. You guys also just don't seem like the brightest lot. Apparently Ruby Rose, the lesbian actress who's like Australian, is getting death threats because all the barbs are not quite bright enough to differentiate between Ruby Rose, a lesbian white chick actress who clearly isn't in the middle of rap feuds, and Ruby Rose with an I, an OnlyFans creator who's like trashing Nicki on her Instagram. And people are telling me I should be worried about Nicki Minaj fans. Worried about what? They're on my team for a spelling contest? I'm not worried about these people. I mean, give me a worthy adversary. Anyone out there. You cannot. I'm not scared of anything. I'm certainly not scared of these like 9th grade educated, Waffle House gays. Sorry. So today, we're gonna learn a little something from Nicki's mistakes, because it seems like her life kind of started to fall apart once she got together with this child molester ex-con who shot someone in the stomach 3 times. And Wendy Williams called it. She's like, you're gonna lose the confidence of John Q. Public. This is gonna fuck up your bottom line. And it's true, Nicki's kind of irrelevant. And we talked yesterday in the video about how to have a second act also, like how to pass the baton gracefully, or not even pass it, but just learn to coexist with the up and comers in your field, whether it's your sorority or, the new hot chick in town or your job or whatever. And you guys pointed out, I touched on it, but you guys really did a deep dive. Like, Nicki came up when Beyonce and Rihanna did. And look at how those two women have pivoted. Beyonce is producing film. She's got Ivy Park, her clothing line. Rihanna, I mean, holy shit. Like Fenty, Savage, she's Super Bowl. Nicki, all she's got is music. And it is unfortunate that in this day and age, that simply isn't enough. It just isn't. And so nature abhors a vacuum, doesn't it? And so the spaces that should be filled with other pursuits and diversification are filled with rage and bombast and unhinged 72-hour Twitter rants that are giving Britney. They're giving Britney. And yeah, I trace all this back to her choice in men. And you gotta look at someone like Nicki, who outwardly has it all. She's pretty, like I said, she looks like she bites. She is surgerized to the gods, but sorry, she dates like rappers and black dudes. I guess they kind of like that. Like, I assume, like, she's not going after like a Texas oil millionaire. That's not really their vibe, like a BBL. So white dudes don't want chicks with butt implants. I don't know what to tell you. Let me just be the white whisper. This is what white guys like. I don't know what they want. They want women with perfectly flat asses named Meredith. That's what they want. But you know what? She knows how to sail. She does. Okay? This is high on the list for white men. Anyway. Nicki had the world on a string. She could have dated, as we assume, anyone, any hot rapper, a basketball player, I don't know. And she chooses this broke child rapist murderer who, I'm sorry, isn't even hot. He's not even hot. You can find this man at any bodega in Harlem. Not attractive. And we were all just like, what? And given how pressed Nicki is that Megan had the audacity to mention her in one bar, in a song that was full of disses on a whole bunch of other people, it's obviously a sore spot for Nicki. And that makes us think, her marriage isn't quite so rosy as she lets us believe. She's not quite as confident with her choices as she wants us to think. I think it's really true that the things that trigger us are the things we inherently believe are true. We believe are true. Someone can call me ugly, okay. They can call me dumb, okay. Don't call me fat. Don't call me fat. I believe I'm fat, don't call me fat, right? I don't believe I'm dumb, and I definitely don't believe I'm ugly. I believe I'm fat. And so that hits. For other people, it's different. And I told you guys in the last video, look at what someone is trying to project. What is their image? What is a phrase they repeat? How do they need to be seen by the world? That's what they're insecure about. That's their insecurity. And you want to go after your enemy and fucking destroy them? You press on that. You press on that. It's cruel. War is hell. And if you do it right, you only have to fight one battle. We talked about that too. It's a great video. Go watch it. If I do say so myself. And again, given Nicki's ballistic ass response to one bar, she's also got some issues with her husband. Now, it could be she's just tired of defending herself. It could be that her family and her friends are like, what are you doing? Her dad is a drug addict, from what other bloggers say, and her brother is also like a child molester, evidently. I don't know. I don't know much about this family because gross. And this blogger, who is it, Ken Barbie, also said Nicki doesn't even have any friends. But she does have people giving her feedback somewhere in the world because, again, she's very sensitive about this. So why do women make this decision? Well, I'm going to break it down for you, but before I do, we are in the last day or two to sign up for my manifestation coach, Laura St. John's new 6-week group coaching program. If you guys follow me on Insta or have watched my videos here, you know that I credit Laura, who is my mindset coach, with absolutely wild, incredible change in my life. Truly. She has done more for me in a 1-hour session than, I don't know, 2 years of therapy did. If you're just ready to shift, if your therapy's not really getting you anywhere, if you're pissed, you kind of dropped your New Year's resolutions, sign up for this. You can save 25% with my code right down below. Enrollment ends February 1st. You can watch the last 2 weeks of lessons in replay and all the lessons going forward, but it's a great community. I've never directed anyone towards her who has not said, this changed my life. This unlocked what I was hoping it would unlock. I'm making more money. I found love. I've let go of these habits. You just get unstuck. And very actionable tips. So go ahead and check that out. Also follow me on Instagram because come February 1st, I'm launching Shallon's Day. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to get what you deserve. Okay, queen? The dates, the guys, the gifts, the treatment, everything. You deserve the best. And I can tell you how to manipulate people into giving you what you want. I don't know that I can tell you how to manipulate Nicki Minaj into making better decisions. I mean, even I have my limits. Me, a sexual alchemist. I don't know what I can do with Nicki. I do know what we can learn though. Okay, this is bothering me. Like I said, outwardly, Nicki has it all. She's got so many options, right? And yet she chose this man, this unhot child molester, because on some level, she believes, not thinks, not fears, believes with the conviction that we believe the sun will come up the next day, believes that is the best she deserves. That's all she deserves. And in yesterday's video, we talked about the pathology of Nicki Minaj, how racist and how insecure she is. She hates white people. She hates pretty black girls. She kind of hates everyone. And one of you guys said in a comment, you guys, I have to read this because it was literally like poetic. I'm like, why do I have the smartest fans in the whole wide world? I put it on my stories. It was so good. Oh, talking about Nicki. You can't be a pack builder with a scarcity mindset. Nicki has only ever wanted to be the one female rapper winning, the one respected woman, a queen with neither lineage nor worthy adversaries. sentence, a queen with neither lineage, no one she's mentoring, nor worthy adversaries. I actually think you could say the same thing for Taylor Swift. Look what she did to Olivia Rodrigo. That's why everything Nicki's attacked Megan for is patriarchal. Her sex life, her height, putting her shooter in prison to the horror of his fanboys, her ex talking shit, etc. If you're not an acolyte to Nicki, you're a threat to her. The irony is that her patriarch is now her downfall. Who wrote this? Who fucking wrote this? This is incredible. Like, what? I hope you write for a living. I hope you are like writing the next version of the Bible, because you need to be. This is amazing. Please, is this Robert Greene? Is this Robert Greene? Are you on my channel? That's incredible. And it really is true. Like, the insecurity that Nicki Minaj is displaying, I believe, is so glaring and repellent, because if she, with again, all this going for her, she's beautiful, she's talented, she's got fans, she's got money, she's got clout. If she is making these bad decisions and showing her ass to be such low self-worth, what the fuck hope do any of us have? If she can't do better, wow, good luck to us. But no. First of all, celebrities are insane. They're insane. I was a celebrity journalist for 15 years in New York City. I know a lot of them. They are all crazy as a sack of weasels. They just really are. They're narcissistic, and not in the way it's like, I think I'm better, in like that narcissistic personality disorder way where they deeply hate themselves. And they are constantly needing to be propped up by applause and clout and attention, and they are fucking terrified of being replaced. Look at how Nicki acts. Look at how Nicki acts, right? So we need to let it go, this concept that, oh, celebrities know something we don't. Yeah, how to be insane. They might know that. They might know their way in and inside and out of a Xanax bottle, but I mean, beyond that, no, they don't. No, they don't. We live the lives of sanity and dignity that they envy. The higher you go, especially as a woman, whether it's in fame, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your beauty, it's a pyramid, isn't it? At the very top, it's lonely. It's lonely at the top. One of my friends is fat to quite fat. And she complains all the time, I just don't know that I can find a boyfriend. First of all, she doesn't try. So let's just say that. She doesn't get on the dating scene. She's like, look at me. I'm like, finally, I was like, there are more people who look like you than there are people who look like Giselle. Dating is a numbers game. Girl, you are sitting pretty. You really are. The higher you go towards perfection, and again, whether that's wealth, beauty, your career, your fame, the smaller the pool gets. Like, do you think Kim Kardashian can like be on Tinder? Of course not. And we look at the people she keeps in her life, like that lunatic Jonathan Chebin and his like wonky eye. Isn't it funny how he says he's straight? I hate that guy. We were on the New York scene together. He knows why. Has to do with Simon. And people are like, why does she keep him around? Because her world is small. She can't go out and make new friends. So when someone does breach that fortress, when someone gets in, it's like the mafia. Once you get in, it's very tough to get out, right? You're not just getting spit back out. People hold on to you because they know you are difficult to replace, which sounds crazy to the rest of us. Like, Nicki can't replace a murderer. From her point of view and from the smallness of her world, no, she cannot. No, she cannot. And it's funny because we think of celebrities as like they have every option available. When you get down to it, not really. Not really. The most beautiful girls I know are the ones who go home the saddest at the end of the night when they go out to the bars, because guys don't come up and talk to them. They come up and talk to their less hot, less intimidating friend. So why would Nicki? I get that, like, okay, there's not a huge dating pool. There might be some degree of settling because who is she going to date that's on her level, right? How could she date another alpha male? Because listen, men want to date women who under-earn them. You can earn a lot, he's got to earn more. Studies have shown, there's a study that came out of the UK, and I mentioned this, I think, in a TikTok, and a whole bunch of people sampled it, that the long and the short of it is men do not even want to be in the same room as a woman who earns more than them. Forget fucking dating her. They don't even want to observe her and acknowledge she exists. How do you think my dating life is in Montana? It's a miracle I have a boyfriend. But this means it's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here for an alpha female who's doing well. And it's this fucking insane paradox where the world and people are cheering you on. Go, 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 achieve, 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 earn, earn, earn. Be beautiful, be this. And you're like, yes, I've done it. And they're like, boo, you die alone, boo. So you kind of have no choice to either date like this extremely small dating pool of men who are higher than you in the food chain. And remember, you don't have to be a celebrity to understand this dynamic. You don't. Or you downshift and you completely do the opposite and you date a beta. You date a sugar boy, basically. You date way down, way down. A guy who's like, wow, isn't she great? But that curdles real fast. That curdles real fast. Nikki is an example. So is Wendy Williams. And I think part of the reason Wendy hated Nikki and went so hard against her is because she saw herself in her. Wendy had this horrible husband she made a producer on her show. He did jack shit and was just lining his pockets, paying for his mistress, bought this bitch a house down the road from Wendy, kept Wendy on drugs, just compliant and just productive enough, but never so good that she had the guts to leave. So it's interesting that those two hated each other so much because it's like, girl, y'all are living pretty parallel lives. But it goes to show that if you have a man who is beneath you, he will always try to tear you down. He will always try to tear you down. And it's difficult because your options seem like, okay, I settle or I'm alone. No, you waited out for the alpha male. You waited out for the alpha male. I guarantee you, you're not so rich, you're Nicki Minaj. You're not Taylor Swift. Even she found someone who's better than her. Not better, but not intimidated by her because he so very much has his own thing going on. Yes, she does out-earn him, but I think they're much more evenly matched than Nikki and her child molester husband. Then, of course, you have the element of, I can change him. He's a bad boy with a heart of gold and a dick of monstrosity. Okay? That's what he has. He has a horrible scabby penis that I hate and I would chop off if I could. But yeah, he's got a heart of gold. A lot of people with hearts of gold rape children. Go fuck yourself. The term heart of gold, he's got a good heart, he's a good person underneath it. That's all I need to hear. If someone describes anybody to me like that, man, woman, doesn't matter, I'm like, oh, they're actually a monster and they've bamboozled you into thinking otherwise. Who you are deep down inside, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I care about your character, and character is actions. Character is actions. I know he loves me, he just can't show it. No, he doesn't love you. That's why he's not showing it. And if he can't show it, he's a failure. He's a failure to launch. He can't show an emotion he feels? What the fuck? Who are you dating? I know that they care about me. What are you basing that on? The evidence? No, there isn't evidence. You're basing this on delusion. You're basing this on delusion. And that, my friends, is called confirmation bias, wherein someone basically cherry picks favorable information to support their own beliefs. We do it very heavily in politics, right? You see this all the time. Like Barack Obama was the first one to lock up children migrants at the border in cages. Well, I am sure he had his reasons, right? You hear these things. Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. Well, he's a man who goes after what he wants. Okay. Like, we hear this on both sides. And certainly we hear this in relationships. When you're in love with someone, you're constantly looking for reasons to justify their behavior. When you're not, you have the ick and everything gets under your skin. Everything gets under your skin. Ideally, we could be in the middle. Where, yeah, we're going to look at the good things and be like, all right, I'm going to use this actually legitimately positive data about this person to bolster my love for them. But, oh, are those cargo shorts? Okay, we're just going to roll it back a minute. We're going to do the hybrid. We're going to look at things dispassionately and logically. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, of course, we don't really very often do this. Why? Why? Why would someone like Nikki look at this mealy mouth, lice-ridden, I don't know if he has lice, I'm just thinking that he might, lice-ridden inmate and think, I will torpedo my career for this man. Not just, I'm gonna love him. I am going to alienate anyone who disagrees with me for him. That is called the sunk cost fallacy, sometimes called the sunk cost bias. You see this a lot in financial decisions, particularly when people are getting scammed, right? It's the concept of, well, I've come this far, I can't stop now. I have to see it through. Women who are in pyramid schemes, people who invest in a Ponzi scheme, something like that. It's like, well, I've put in this much money, I can't just pull out now, otherwise all that money is lost. It's already lost. What's worth than losing $1,000? $1,000 in one. What's worse than losing $1,000? $1,001. What's worse than 6 months down the drain with a guy? 6 months in one day. And we know this. Logically, we know this. We see other people make these decisions and we're like, ah! But when we are in it, we can't. We cannot just cut and run when that would actually be the most beneficial thing to do. To abandon the plan, to say, you know what? I made a mistake. Why is that the most difficult thing in the world to say? The risk machine. The risk machine. The risk machine. We would rather feel right than happy. We will pull ourselves towards an outcome that feels predictable, even if that outcome is bad, versus taking the chance on an outcome that might actually be really great, but we can't predict it. Our risk machine means the human brain is hardwired to constantly assess risk. I said this yesterday in the video. We judge things based on appearances. You see someone dressed up as a cop, I assume it's a cop. You're rolling around in a car with sirens, that's a cop, right? Doctor comes in to do your surgery, I fucking assume he's a doctor, right? We actually don't ask for a lot of receipts because if we did, we would not be able to move through the world. Are you sure you work here? Are you sure you love me? Are you sure you're coming home tonight? Are you sure? Are you sure? We would shut down. We could never get anything done. We would, like our central nervous system literally would overload and we would die. Society runs on trust. And because of that, we need to believe that our decisions are something we can trust. Because if we can't, if we are like, I made a horrible mistake in one of the largest categories in my life, one of the biggest decisions I've ever made was very wrong, how am I supposed to pick out lettuce? How could I possibly go to Cheesecake Factory and be confronted with that 36-page menu and trust that my decision was the right one? Your whole structure breaks down. Your whole structure breaks down. If I can't choose the big things, how can I choose the little things? How can I raise my children? How can I go for this position? How can I do anything? I'm a clown. So we want to feel right. And again, we will look for evidence to back that up. What the fuck evidence Nicki Minaj has to keep that asshole around, I have no idea. I have no idea. And sometimes the evidence is just, he loves me. Of course he loves you. Look at him. Of course he loves you, you know? But do we not see this in our friends and family, in ourselves? In ourselves? When I look back at my cheating ex, and it was, in hindsight, very obvious that he was up to something. I didn't know what it was, but my friends are like, yeah, no, we could tell. That's what I would say. He loves me. He supports me. No, he's not perfect. No, our relationship isn't perfect. There's a lot of bad, but like, nobody else is pulling up for me the way he is. And again, when you're an alpha female, that weights pretty darn heavily. You know, it's funny. These beta bitches out here, maybe they're onto something, you know? Maybe they're onto something being not very threatening, not very high earning, not very self-aware. And guys are like, ooh, and they're like, oh, just eating sticks of butter, whatever the fuck beta pigeons do. I don't know. Maybe they're just living right. And we're out here daring greatly, trying to be bigger and better. And what do we get? The Kenneth Pettys of the world. But no, we don't have to settle for the Kenneth Pettys because there's not just Kenneth Pettys, there's Barack Obamas, there's Idris Elbas, there's Jason Aldeans. There are people out there who want their women to succeed. There's Dustin Johnson. There are people out there who want their women to succeed. They do. whoever Margot Robbie's husband is. I don't know. I don't care. But he wants her to do well, and he's so proud of her. And we have to hold out for these people. But let's get back to Nicki. What influences these decisions? Because listen, it's great to sit here and shit on Nicki. I mean, it really honestly is. But we need to like take a step back and not just arm ourselves with this knowledge to like, boo, 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 fire at our friends and we see them doing it, but to turn the guns on ourselves and say, when am I doing this? And do I have the guts? Do I have the guts to say, okay, how is my confirmation bias kicking in? Where's my sunk cost fallacy coming into play? Because let me tell you, the final boss you have to slay when you acknowledge that you're with a real pile of turds. Good decisions have a cost. We think of only bad decisions as having a cost, right? Like, ooh, I know what that queso is going to cost me if I eat it. I know what this outfit's going to cost me if I buy it. We don't stop to immediately consider, and we're considering on a subconscious level, but we don't consider it on a conscious level, how positive change costs us. And very often, the cost is actually a lot greater, or so we think. Our fear brain is telling us, hey, if you order the kale, you are not going to be able to deal with it. You're just not. Nope. It's going to be the worst meal of your life. You're going to cry the whole time. It's going to be a nightmare. And then you're going to be gassy all night, right? We tell ourselves this and we're like, oh yeah, okay, well the queso. When we don't buy something, oh, well, you're just going to look stupid at the party. I guess you just want to look stupid at the party because you didn't buy this new outfit. How does this relate to dating? I want to weave in a different celebrity for a moment. Kourtney Kardashian. I used to love Kourtney, and I used to feel so sorry for her that she was trapped with Scott and the kids trapped her there. And then I started to see Kourtney through a completely different lens. The lens of a good decision comes at a price. She stayed with Scott, not for the kids, not even because she loved him, but because she got to behave like a fucking child. No matter how messy she was, he was always messier. No matter how poor of a communicator she was, at least she was sober doing it. And he was like, and couldn't keep up. And that felt good to her. She liked the power of it, okay? And again, she liked the power because it was predictable. She could predict Scott's messiness. She could predict how she was going to react to it. And no one was holding her to a higher standard. She could be messy and she was still winning. She dates someone emotionally mature, which, by the way, Travis Barker is not. He's a complete fucking turd of a person. He fucked her sister. He's still obsessed with this movie, True Romance, this concept of women and love that he tries to foist on every female in his life, from his ex-wife to his daughter to his new wife, and I'm sure their son. Like everything is like this weird cosplay of this movie. He's trash. Sorry. But let's pretend she had dated someone like actually smart and high level. She was going to have to rise to a higher level too. Let me tell you something. My boyfriend, who is 23 years old, nails my ass to the wall in terms of communication. And it is hard to run a game on him. Not impossible, but hard. He is always trying to communicate from a point of collaboration, from a point of how can we get through this? How can we make something better? And I gotta be honest, it was a real mirror for me to be like, a lot of the time, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to win. I'm not after peace, I'm after victory. I want to be right. I don't care if we're happy. And being with someone who isn't behaving like that was a very big splash of water for me because it put my behavior in really ugly contrast. And I'm like, shit. I could still run a game on him, but I feel bad doing that because he's coming to me with such pureness of heart and truly trying to make our relationship better. Fuck. I guess I have to communicate like this too. And there's days when I'm like, I don't want to do this. I just want to be a garbage person. I want to date a garbage person, but just who's like a little more garbagey than me so that I'm still queen garbage. And I can behave however I want and no one's going to call me on my shit. That's some good pigeon behavior, isn't it? Isn't it? And when I look at Nicki, that's exactly what I see. She gets to call the shots because what the fuck is he gonna do? Leave? Go ahead. But don't leave, I need you. It's this weird dynamic where he's coercive to her, she's coercive to him. The whole thing is just this toxic garbage fire, like sex offender registry, just gross and split. So how do we avoid a Nicki Minaj-esque fate? I mean, first of all, don't get a BBL and don't get weird thigh tattoos. Does she have one of those? Or is that Cardi B? I don't know. Here's what we can do. Ask yourself, and I mean really get real deal Holyfield with yourself, and ask, what would I told you so cost? If you broke up with your own version of Kenneth Petty, and maybe he is not that bad, I fucking hope not, and you had to hear, I told you so, Hannah, I told you so, from every person in your life, why is that an intolerable outcome? Now, of course, we already explored the fact that it disrupts our risk machine. But what if we could recalibrate the risk machine and think, all right, the risk machine, when I first saw him and when I committed to him, took the data that I had, took the mindset that I had, the emotional place I was in, spit it out. Child molester is a great fit for me. Yes, love it. But machines are updated. Data is updated. New data points come in, and they did. And I reassessed and it spit out, oh, that is bad, scabby penis. We do not want this. And so I made a different assessment. I got new data and I pivoted. That to me is a big high five for the risk machine. That is a machine I want on my side, the one that can make a decision, but also refine it and say, okay, well, now we have an updated thesis statement here. What if you could say that to the people who are trying to say, I told you so? Like, okay, you were right, mom. You were right, dad. You were right, internet. You were all fucking right. You were right. Bring it on. Bring on your insults. Bring it on. Bring it on. Could you handle that? And if not, why? Generally, when there's an I told you so situation with me, and given how I live my life, there's plenty, and I'm like, don't fucking say it, okay? Don't fucking say it. With my ex, Tom, who I've talked about like ad nauseum here, was in love with him for 3 years, Hurt Locker, addict, all this stuff. When my friends would be like, when we're as right as we are, you don't even have to say I told you so. It got under my skin the most when I knew it. When I knew from the jump that they were right. The I told you so's didn't bother me as much when I genuinely believed that this time we got back together, things really were going to be different. They really were. Because I had new data, or so I thought I did. I turned out to be wrong, always. But when there was a part of me that was like, girl, this isn't about your friends saying I told you so. You knew. You knew better. That's why you're upset. You knew better too. So it doesn't matter what everybody else was saying. It matters what you were saying to yourself that you did not listen to. That's where resentment comes. Resentment doesn't come from other people. Resentment comes from inside. When we didn't read the writing on the wall, or we did, and we're like, I don't care. I don't know her. I don't care. And we denied the truth. We denied our intuition because we were listening to fear. We were listening to fear. No, I was listening to hope. No, you weren't. You were listening to fear. You dressed up fear as hope. That's not what it was. It was, I have to make it work with him. Otherwise, the last 6 months are gone. That's the sunk cost fallacy coming into play. Let's say that that's the case. You dated someone for 6 months and you know what, girl? It just actually never worked out. He never committed to you. He ended up cheating on you again, whatever. What if you could think of those 6 months not as just gone and they're wasted and I'll never get them back? What if you think of this day, the day you break up, the day you realize that this person is a piece of shit? What if you think of this as graduation day? Not the day when your investment is blown. What if you think of it as the day you get your diploma and you graduate from fuckboy school? and that those 6 months was sort of a graduate degree. And you had to go through those classes, and you had to take the quizzes and the passes and the fails, and you had to do all that work to get to where you are now. You didn't lose that time. That was leading towards you getting this degree, this extra heightened knowledge that now you're going to take out into the world and use to find something that actually is better for you. What if you could reframe it? Because let's face it, because guess what? You can't change it. You can't rewind the past. You can't unlearn. You can't go back. You cannot change what happened. You can change what it means. You can change what it means. And you can do that with a simple mindset switch. And I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it back to her. Laura St. John helped me learn this. There's a lot of resentment and bitterness I carried throughout my life. And that was like the number one thing I needed to let go of. And once I could flip everything from like, why did this happen? And it happened to me and I'm a victim. Rah, rah. Once I could flip that and be like, it's graduation day. Oh my God. Blessings started pouring in because I was finally free of that. And I had the confidence to be like, yeah, that relationship was terrible. Everyone was right. He never changed. But I graduated and here I am. And I've learned that. And I don't need to learn that lesson again. And I don't need to stay there in that school for shittiness. I can get out of it. I can get past it. What if you could flip that? What would you then be able to let go of? How much less would the I told you so's hurt? Would you maybe even pay attention to them at all? I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Let's just keep talking Nicki and Megan. Yeah, and like I said, if you're a Barbs here trying to tear me down and you've watched this whole video, you still feeling confident about that decision? Do you still think you're going to be able to craft an insult that lands? I wish you luck. I do. I want the best for you. And I want the best for all of my Shalligators. Like I said, join Laura's new 6-week course. Registration ends February 1st. You can save 20%, both if you pay up front or if you do payment plans, which is like so easy. Right down below at the link in the bio. And follow me on Instagram for some very special Shallentine's Day content on how to get what you deserve. I'll see you later, Shalligators.